Burnaby North. This riding was reclaimed by the NDP in 2017 after the party was embedded here from the 1960s right up to the early 2000s. But now this election, the orange glow could be fading here once again.
It's our homes, it's our properties, it's also the anchor of our security.
Homeowners here in Burnaby's Brentwood Park have taken issue with the province's aggressive housing bills, one that forced municipalities to change zoning bylaws to allow multiplexes on single-family home lots. Another bill also allows for small apartment buildings on lots like these because they're close to transit hubs.
This legislation's come in too fast, too heavy-handed, too top-down for it to be without mistake.
A year ago, the NDP announced its bold plans to introduce legislation that would push housing density in municipalities. Ravi Kahlon, the Minister of Housing at the time, acknowledged the move might not be universally popular.
We now need to start taking action. And so I suspect many communities will be happy and some communities may not be. But we are in a housing crisis.
And there has been unhappiness. West Vancouver reluctantly changed its bylaws after yielding under threat of a ministerial order. The riding's incumbent MLA says it's not sitting well with voters.
There is now a huge backlash against what people are seeing as property rights being taken away from them, being pushed to do things in their communities that they're not having say in.
There's also concern in Coquitlam. The city has been progressive in adding density, especially around transit hubs, and the BC NDP bill calling for the same upended the local approach.
They brought in a one-size-fits-all, and it wasn't really needed in communities like Burnaby and Coquitlam and Surrey.
The BC Conservatives have picked up on the displeasure and are promising to repeal Bill 44, which allows multiplexes on lots with single-family homes, saying, quote, "We will work with cities, not against them, to build the housing BC needs." The Conservatives do support multiplexes in communities, but instead of enforcing them with legislation, will use $1 billion in financial incentives available for municipalities whose zoning allows for viable multiplexes on at least 2/3 of residential land. NDP candidates in ridings in play over this issue are working hard to communicate their party's multifaceted Homes for People action plan. Worth $19 billion over 10 years, the party says so far it has delivered or begun building 80,000 homes.
On the doorstep, what I'm hearing is that, in general, people are happy and that the risk is going back to letting sort of that, speculation and empty housing and everything go back to what it was before when John Rustad was in government.
Many municipalities say they want density and want to partner with the province over it. In Oak Bay on Vancouver Island, the NDP incumbent is not running again, leaving the race wide open. The city's political leader is asking for collaboration with whomever forms the next government, saying they need to share the same goals.
We were all working on housing ahead of these initiatives. Nobody's pushing back saying we don't want to find innovative housing options. So at the end of the day, we're just trying to work well with the province to come up with those housing pieces.
This race appears so far to be tight, according to pollsters, and a central theme is if voters are okay with the NDP's prescriptive approach to solving problems like housing, or feel in neighborhoods like this pushed too far and plan to vote for change. Chad Pawson, CBC News, Burnaby.